Hi Bruins, my name is Drea Letamendi and I'm a clinical psychologist in residential life and the director of the UCLA Student Resilience Center called RISE. I want to talk about two things in particular. One is loneliness. Students are sharing that they actually feel more detached and lonely because they're not able to engage and interact with other students, their friends, as well as some extended family members. The other issue is actually the opposite, feeling crowded. In their household, they may feel like they're sharing resources, computers, technology, access to things that usually they're able to get a hold of and spend a lot of time with. I spoke to my colleague, Carmen Garcia Shustari, in the first year experience office at UCLA. I first asked Carmen about some of the challenges that students might experience as they transition to distant learning.
Some of the challenges students are dealing with as they transition to remote instruction include feelings of isolation and or feelings of lack of privacy. Some of our students who have stayed on or near campus have experienced their friends leaving and may feel like this is the loneliest quarter they've ever had. Others may be thrust into environments where they no longer have a quiet place to study or the resources they need to be a fully engaged student. Another challenge is the lack of resources in the remote learning environments that include basic needs like food, a bed, or even access to reliable technology like free Wi-Fi and computer usage. For a lot of our students, our campus represents a lot more than getting a degree. It is a safe space for them, a place to find community, a place where they have access to resources. And finally, many students are facing financial hardships either personally or are affected by their own family's economic crisis. And the reality is that just because students have returned to their home environments, this may not necessarily mean things are easier for them. For some, they are dealing with additional pressures from family members and caregivers. Some of these pressures can include students taking a more active role in serving as caretakers of family members. This can result in students having less time to study, or just the nature of caretaking brings inherent stressors. This pressure is especially felt among our low-income, first-generation students, as well as those who have dependents where they may be expected to prioritize caretaking over school. Another pressure students may face when returning home is the pressure to conceal part of their identity that they do not feel safe revealing at home. This can be common among our LGBTQ students, but it is also true of any student who has found a safe haven on campus to truly express their identities. And finally, students may feel constant pressure to justify the time they need to dedicate to their studies. Families may not be familiar with all the responsibilities that come with being a full-time student. Our first-gen students, our students who have dependents, and students with multiple siblings may feel this pressure even more.
We then talked about establishing healthy and appropriate boundaries with other members of the household.
First, students can establish formal study times with their family where they ask for designated time and space to study, even if it's a section of a dining room table early in the morning. Second, students can try to be more creative when designating study times that may not be ideal, but at least work around their family's schedule and cause the least amount of conflict. Some ways students can create healthy study habits when taking remote instruction are by setting a daily schedule that includes break times for eating healthy, sleeping, and time to check in with friends. Limiting time on social media, as that can easily lead to distractions and fuel more anxiety. Creating virtual study groups that can provide a supportive learning environment and reduce feelings of isolation. And reaching out to TAs and professors if they are struggling with the material or with all the pressures they are facing. Students need to know, even though the world can feel very daunting, we are here to support them.
As students begin to develop healthy study habits at home, how can they access further support? What can UCLA offer them?
If students are struggling with this transition, they should contact their academic counseling units, as they all have virtual office hours and have valuable resources to assist students. Also, we can suggest to students to reach out for psychological counseling as needed. Reach out to First Year Experience, as we can help refer students to resources across the campus. FYE also has programs and staff dedicated to supporting special populations that include first-generation students, out-of-state students, and commuters who all face unique challenges. We are here to help.
Thanks to the First Year Experience Office for sharing their recommendations and strategies with us. And remember, no matter where you are in the world, you're still a Bruin. Be well.